Yo, what's going on? I'm Marcus. Welcome back to the channel, The Debt Free Dad, where we talk finances, do reaction videos where I give my attorney reaction to trending news, topics, current events, and all that good stuff. If you're new to the channel, I definitely invite you to hit the subscribe button, like, comment if you get something out of this video, hit the dislike button if you don't. Now, I know this is an early time for DFD to be on live, but as everybody who's a family member, who's a member of the tribe know, I'm dropping my number one son off to college this weekend. So I said, you know what? Let me get on here and jump and do this video real quick because I'm gonna be tied up the rest of the weekend. Now, lately we've been doing videos over here just talking about what's going on in Dalton, Illinois. There's a lot of things going on there with their mayor, with their board of trustees. And once you jump into the algorithm and you start looking for certain topics and identifying certain things, you know what happens? The algorithm know what you like to look for. And so I just start getting bombarded with information about mayors and politicians that are allegedly terrible people. We'll say allegedly because no one has been convicted yet. But I think universally, Tiffany Henyard has held the title of worst mayor for a while. But I think that this mayor is assuming the throne. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Today, we're going to talk about Misty Roberts. I'm an equal opportunity video guy over here. So we're going to talk about Misty Roberts, a mayor who recently resigned and recently was arrested. I always got to give a disclaimer. I'm a licensed attorney, licensed in multiple jurisdictions. None of those jurisdictions amount to me being your counselor at law. So if you're looking for legal, financial advice, plumber, handyman, barber, make sure you find one in your area who can help you, and always check with the local state licensing board to make sure people are who they say they are. Now, first thing we're going to do is take a look at former Mayor Roberts' LinkedIn, because we gotta know a little bit about the person, who they are. Misty Roberts, government, public relation, economic growth, community development. All right, I'm not going to go through all this, but in short, with over 15 years of dedication and service to the city of DeRidder. I hope it's DeRidder and not DeRidder. I hope it's DeRidder. My journey from project coordination to mayor reflects a deep commitment to strategic leadership, community development. At the core of my mission has been to foster a vibrant, growth-oriented environment that resonates with the city and parishes, cultures, and values. So we're in the beautiful state of Louisiana, the city of DeRidder. Let me know in the comments. I'm gonna go with DeRidder because DeRidder would be terrible considering what she's charged with. But let's go down because you always like to look at a person's experience. And when LinkedIn, you look at LinkedIn like you're looking at a resume or a court report. You start from the back, the oldest stuff, and work your way forward. Hey, she became the mayor of the town that she grew up in and graduated high school in. Hey, she around that same time period as your boy DFD, McNeese State University, Bachelor's of Science in Communications, Public Relations. I mean, appears to be an educated person, appears to be a person who has a commitment to the community and making sure people in the community that she grew up in is doing well. You can see her previous employment: customer service rep, sales rep, financial advisor. Y'all know, hey, outside of the reaction stuff, I like to talk finances, money. Financial advisor, held a Series 6, Series 65 Louisiana license, and a health license. So definitely not a stupid person. Very well educated. Time in the government, total time 15 years and 7 months. Project coordinator to director of community service to mayor. And she served as mayor from June of 2009 until July of 2024. So, hey, just looking at her LinkedIn profile, they hey, I agree. I mean, like, you can have like co-champions like the national championship. They both could hold the title for worst mayor ever. And I'm gonna also show y'all that these charges aren't unique because literally right up the street from me, we've seen something kind of similar to this from a mayor that we're going to talk about after we go through. Let me go ahead and cue up the video on this before we take the the super deep dive. I already got the video queued up. Let me just add it to the feed. And I pray to God that this town is called DeRidder.
Juvenile while employed as mayor. 42-year-old Roberts is facing
All right, let's crank it up. It's only a
major
short video.
development
Short
involving
video.
DeRidder's former mayor, Misty
DeRidder.
Roberts Clanton. She's been arrested for rape, allegedly involving a juvenile. Good evening, I'm Cynthia Arsenault. The State Police Special Victims Unit interviewed two juveniles, including the alleged victim. Both confirmed Roberts had sex with the one juvenile while employed as mayor. 42-year-old Roberts is facing one count of third-degree rape and one count of contributing to the delinquency of juveniles. She's been released on a $75,000 bond. It'll be up to a grand jury to decide if she'll be officially charged. Roberts resigned as mayor just 5 days ago. Her arrest follows a tumultuous week in DeRidder. Roberts said she'd be away from the office for 2 weeks, appointing an interim mayor on Friday. She then resigned Saturday. Attorney Adam Johnson is representing Roberts. He said in a statement, quote, "My client maintains her innocence, and as it stands, she is in fact innocent. She has not been charged with the crime and or convicted of any crime, and we trust the public will respect her constitutional presumption of innocence, which is fundamental to our system of justice," end quote. Now, we'll continue to update this story as new details are released on air and online at kplctv.com. A major
All right, so we're gonna talk about this because I had to do a little bit of research because I had questions. I was like, what's going on with this case? But allegedly, she was under an alleged misconduct investigation prior to her resignation. Now, at this time, no one knows if this alleged misconduct investigation related to what she was arrested for with the underage stuff, or an alternative if it was conduct related to mismanagement of funds or government trust or something to that effect. She resigned. 3 days later, she was charged. She only spent about 72 hours in custody before posting a $75,000 bond. Normally, people are paying 10 to 15% of that to get out. So you're talking 7,500 to maybe $10,000, $12,000, somewhere in that range. Now, the interesting thing is, I'm pretty sure that she already retained counsel. I mean, one, she was a certified financial planner, so I don't think that she was fiscally stupid. Two, she was actually able to make bond. Three, the biggest point that she already had counsel even before he made that statement was she resigned prior to. Resigning prior to is actually a smart thing. I would probably advise any client who was in a government position to resign in light of an investigation, because now she doesn't open herself up to being continuously harassed by the media. Tiffany Henyard, you can literally every day she has to avoid the media. She can't even go to her office. She can't even go to her home. It gets really ridiculous. So that's a common thing that a defense attorney will say, like, yo, if you don't need the employment, if you can sustain yourself without maintaining this employment, go ahead and resign, because we don't want you to be harassed, always ask questions, to feel pressured into answering any questions. Now, the interesting thing from a strategic standpoint is apparently the law enforcement, local sheriff offices had asked the state police to actually investigate these allegations that led to her arrest. Interestingly enough, what happened was law enforcement didn't conduct an interview with her at any point, which is odd from a law enforcement investigation standpoint. Normally, what will happen is, if I'm conducting an investigation, normally what happens, once you got enough information to independently make a determination as an investigatory body, we're not talking about a jury and everything, but if as an officer, agency conducting an investigation, once I got sufficient facts, you actually conduct an interview. It's not even an interview. You normally would conduct an interrogation. The difference is, the interview, you want information; interrogation, you're trying to get a confession. Once you got sufficient facts, where you like, yo, I think we got enough here. You normally conduct an interrogation of the actual target to see if you can get them to do one or two things. One, if it's an interrogation, you want them to confess. Two, if they don't confess, you want them to make statements that would damage their interest because anything they say could be used against them at trial. So an interview wasn't done from law enforcement standpoint. To date, the only thing that we know that law enforcement has is evidence. Apparently, they have a corroborating witness who's also a minor who was able to corroborate the charges that were filed against this particular mayor. Now, the other thing that's actually interesting is she clearly had knowledge that this arrest was coming. I think that's the reason she resigned. Normally, what'll happen is, and the other reason she had knowledge, I'm just going to assume if they've actually arrested you, at some point they probably executed a search warrant, maybe to get communication devices like telephones, emails, things like that. Or in the alternative, they already got those things from the alleged victim. The victim is going to give those things up without having to go through. But she clearly already had knowledge. The fact that she didn't have an interview is terrible from an investigative standpoint, is great from a criminal defense standpoint. Because from a defense attorney standpoint, you never want your client to sit down with law enforcement until you have all the information. So normally the best time to actually sit down with authorities, if you're going to choose to do so, is after you get discovery. After you get discovery, now you know all of the evidence that they're going to use against you, all of the witnesses they're going to call against you. And now you can make a real determination of, you know what, they got me right here by the you know what. They got me right here by the you know what. So maybe I should go talk to them and see if I can work out some type of a deal. Now, literally, I don't know any other reason that I would advise a client to ever go sit down. Like, hey, if there's no need to sit down with law enforcement unless the evidence is so mounting and so overwhelming that I need to sit down to try to work out a deal to figure out how we're going to get this thing resolved. This former mayor is 42 years old. I think she's married. She has children. This is the same community that she grew up in. And this is actually crazy. Now, I will tell you, I did take a look at some of the statutes in Louisiana with regard to the charges that she had. And I didn't want to dive too deep in it because for some reason, YouTube a little weird. When you say the word grape a couple of times, they want to demonetize the video and everything like that. But this is a general statement with regard to those charges. This is actually interesting that she was charged with that particular offense because in every state, the definition of grape is defined differently, and some definitions for that crime don't allow women to be charged because the definition may have an element of something like penetration or something like that. And if it does, that's why a lot of times people say like, man, how does this woman's had relations with someone who was a minor and they only got 5 years or 3 years? Well, one, because is a stigma. If this was a guy mayor, oh my goodness, if this was a guy mayor, they'd have thrown this dude. It would have been no bond. It would have been no bond and everything. So one, society generally looks at it differently, but two, depending on the state, some states have definitions for the offense of grape where it could potentially exclude a woman because it doesn't have that essential element that I talked about before. But hey, this goes to show that there are a lot of people out there who are crashing and burning. It doesn't matter your demographics. It doesn't matter your complexion. Stupid people do stupid things, and this isn't the first event. I want to pull up one more thing, then we're gonna jump off here because I gotta make this dude pack his stuff because I'm not packing his stuff because I'm not going nowhere. Let me pull up one more video, and then we're gonna sign off for the day. And this week coming up, we got some interesting stuff going on with a Wells Fargo lawsuit that is kind of wild. But I want y'all to see actually how common this is because this mayor is currently serving 30 years in prison. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Yep, we're gonna pull this up. And this was a year ago. Not even that old. but I just want to show y'all how common this stuff is. And it has no gender. It has no gender. It has no race component. It's just a stupid component.
We are also following a big shakeup in College Park. The mayor suddenly resigned late last night. This morning, police arrested him for possession and distribution of child pornography.
That's right. Patrick Wyan has served in College Park government since 2000.
Now, I'm just saying, like, I don't want to stereotype anybody, but this dude off the break looked mad sketch, just off his appearance alone, personally.
2007. First on the council and then as mayor. He's now facing over 50 charges after a Prince George's County police investigation into his social media activity.
News 4's Darcy Spencer has been working the story all day today. She's live
Currently
now with the
serving
latest
30 year
developments.
sentence, if
Darcy.
I'm not mistaken.
Well, I just checked in with the state's attorney's office here in Prince George's County. They are confirming that the former mayor is being held without bond. He's expected to appear in court sometime tomorrow. The city officials are saying they are totally surprised about this investigation and this arrest. In fact, they have set up an emergency meeting for 7 o'clock this evening. This is a mugshot of Patrick Wyan, who just resigned as mayor of College Park in Prince George's County on the eve of his arrest on dozens of child porn charges. County Police Chief Malik Aziz said,
All right, I'm tired of looking at that creep. But the long story short of that video is that this type of stuff isn't uncommon. You got people in power stealing money, people in power who have no moral compass, and you can't even, they can't even protect, and they endanger the same community who they supposed to be helping. It happens all the time. I want to address a quick comment. She's not going to resign because she want to continue getting that bag. You only walk away when you have the resources to walk away. If you don't have the resources to walk away, you just stick it out. That's why I don't know. It's interesting because a lot of people I see leaving comments like, yo, she has money and businesses and properties and all of that stuff. But even if she has that stuff, if Henyard has that stuff, I don't see her. I'm just, hey, keep it a buck. I don't see her being that intelligent to siphon from funds from the government, then launder those funds to actually get clean money to actually buy businesses and investment properties. No, normally it's I'm stealing money from the government, then I'm taking that money without doing anything to launder it to buy these properties. So I mean, even if she has property and businesses, if she bought it and didn't do it the right way, which I'm pretty sure she didn't, she ain't gonna have no money in the neck, no matter what. Did you hear Henyard's speech yesterday during the emergency meeting? Her vocals were shaking. She is clearly scared and knows her time. And that seat is short. Orange is the new black. Orange is the new black. I know. I actually did check out the the hearing that they had the other day, and she did look shook. It's just every day. It's something every day. We got to dedicate like one day a week, Friday, like I did yesterday, and just kind of do a recap of all of that stuff. Are you saying that she allegedly may get off on a technicality? I don't think that this mayor of DeRidder is going to get off on a technicality. I didn't look into the statutory language that Louisiana has for the charges that she's charged with, but I do know, and I did look up, that Louisiana has 9 statutory sex abuse charges. So I'm pretty sure that they got some charges in there that won't have any uniquely worded definition that may not be applicable to women. So 9 different statutory charges that fall under that category. I'm sure that they got 1, 2, 3. They probably got a few that are going to be applicable. I was just saying that in general, some states have statutes where those charges won't apply to women because the definition of the statute has a term that won't allow it to apply to women. That's just kind of what it is. Tiffany Henyard has no other skills. I agree. When you take a look at their backgrounds, this lady could actually get a job doing something else. She could literally, if you're a financial planner and have those licenses, she could actually just hang up a shingle in front of her home, take on clients, and help them with their financial planning, asset management, investing, sell them insurance things. Tiffany Henyard can rap. Like, she can't even rap, but I don't necessarily know what her skill set is, and I'm not really sure. I don't know. I never even looked her up on LinkedIn. Now y'all got me interested. See, damn it, I wasn't supposed to go down this rabbit hole with y'all today, but now I gotta look. I was like, her. Let's see what her. Oh, this is funny. Her LinkedIn profile is hilarious. Nah, yeah, her LinkedIn profile is hilarious. Did y'all ever see her LinkedIn profile? Now, since y'all brought it up, her LinkedIn profile is actually hilarious. The only reason that I know this is her because here, let me pull it up so y'all could let me pull up her link real quick. Hey, I know this was about a different mayor, but hey, the Henyard comments kept coming in. And I don't know if y'all ever seen her LinkedIn, so I wanted to show y'all her LinkedIn real quick. It's definitely not as active as her Instagram or probably her TikTok if she has a TikTok. But this is her Instagram right here. It just says Tiffany Henyard, owner at Good Burger, Greater Chicago area, and absolutely nothing else. No activity, nothing else. The only reason I know that that's her because the corporate entity of Good Burger was actually changed, if I'm not mistaken. I may be mistaken about this, but I do believe I read that the corporate entity of Good Burger was actually changed and renamed to the Tiffany Cares Foundation that allegedly has its own set of financial problems. God damn. That's wild. This story is now being talked about in the UK. Fair play to Tiffany. She's put Dalton on the map. Yo, shout out to Paul. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Yo, that's crazy when you're a small village mayor in a town of about, I think, 30, maybe 40,000 people, and your conduct has got you internationally known. That's wild. She can start a super OnlyFans. Yo, that might be an exit plan. USB Supermax. That might be an exit plan. We all know that the go-to is, hey, when the bag ain't bagging, hey, you can do an OnlyFans. So that might be a good OnlyFans. I think she already got like a podcast or something, but she don't really post on it like that. She need like a reality show where she just have people follow her around with cameras. But hey, as it comes and relates to mayors being terrible, I think this mayor in DeRidder is what we're going to call it, because DeRidder would be wild considering what she's charged with. But I think that this mayor really takes the cake and is they both equally bad. I agree with an earlier comment. We can't say that one is worse than the other. They all are terrible. We'll start business jail fans. Everybody got phones up in there too. Yo, that's it. I just wanted to show that, hey, I'm an equal opportunity guy. If I see some mayor out there, there's a lot of mayors who are crashing and burning. There's a lot of elected officials who are crashing and burning. Add her to the list with, I think it was Catherine Pugh, the mayor of Baltimore, Tiffany Henyard, Marilyn Mosby, the attorney general for Baltimore. Two already got felony convictions. I think Pugh and Mosby got felony convictions. The other three appear to be pending. Yo, that's it for this video. I just wanted to jump on here real quick and let y'all know what was going on. You got people out here fighting for the title of the country's worst mayor, and they're becoming famous internationally, according to the comments. So it is what it is. Y'all take care. Enjoy y'all weekend. Be blessed and be safe. Peace.